We wish you a wonderful afternoon and thank you for joining us here on WMKV and WLHS. Our program is WMKV Cares, and we welcome back a very special person here in Cincinnati and around the world who has done so much with the Cincinnati Music and Wellness Coalition and Global Music and Wellness. We welcome back Arlene Da Silva. Arlene, thank you for being in with us.
Thanks, George. It's great to be back.
And when generally you hear us have Arlene on the program, you know we're coming up very soon on the Music and Medicine Conference. In fact, I will tell you this is the 6th annual Music and Medicine Conference, and I will tell you that when Arlene puts her mind to it, we have a tremendous panel and a tremendous group of people coming to Cincinnati on October 13th. This conference starts at 8 in the morning, runs till about 3:45 in the afternoon at the Marison Jewish Community Center. And registration, as I understand, is still running through October the 4th. So you can still find out more about this. We'll give you the phone numbers. But Arlene, tell us about the Music and Medicine Conference, the inception of this 6 years ago, and what we can expect in 2017 here. It's going to be a great show.
So thanks, George. I think it's been great for us in the past, bringing in, obviously the mission of the organization is about promoting a culture of wellness through recreational music making. It's about talking about these programs that, you don't have to be a musician to engage in it. As we looked at promoting the programs around and the health benefits, we also realized that wouldn't this be a great time to bring in researchers, physicians, musicians that can talk about what other research is out there, what other programs are there. So it's really about educating folks. And that's how the inception of Music and Medicine Conference came about.
And we're up to the 6th annual now. I think I've been at most every one of these and had a chance to interview numerous people. You have brought in some of the movers and shakers of the music world. Some of these people are often behind the scenes. And I know you're working on another project where we have Vi Higginson coming to Maple Knoll Village in just a couple of days here as we're here on a Friday afternoon. But the 6th Annual Music and Medicine Conference, this is for, in fact, let me read this. Think of this. If you fall under one of these groups of people, which I think encompasses a gigantic group of our population, whether you're a physician, a healthcare professional, a social worker, a nurse, a counselor, a music therapist, a music educator, if you work for a charitable foundation or are involved with one, long-term care professionals, activity directors, human resource professionals, nonprofit organizations, caregivers, and care receivers. They're all welcome at this wonderful conference. And again, registration by October 4th. But this is a day really for a lot of different people. I think people hear this and they think, oh, it's for music educators only or something like that.
Well, George, this was 2 years ago. There's a lady who called me and said, can I come to this? Or is it just for physicians?
Right.
And I said, oh, no, this is for everyone. This is about, we really want to just kind of shout out about the benefits, what music can do for you, whether you're a performer, whether you're from CCM, whether you're a physician out there. And if I can jump in here for a minute,
sure.
We do have a group, this is our local talent in terms of physicians who are also musicians. So we have surgeons, we have family medicine physicians, we have a surgeon from Wellington, a hand surgeon. So they will speak about music from their own specialty. And then at the end, they're going to all perform as an ensemble.
Wow. I could just see it now. We'll call the group Suit Yourself.
I like that. Yes. That's great, George.
We have Arlene Da Silva here with us from the Global Music and Wellness Coalition and the Cincinnati Music and Wellness Coalition and Global Music and Wellness. And you may have well been exposed to one of the many, many outreach activities that this organization does. If you know anyone who has ever participated in health rhythms, correct?
Yes, health rhythms is one of the programs.
The Clavinova Connection.
Yes. Yes.
We are learning more and more, and Dr. Barry Bittman has been a guest here many times on these airwaves with the Yamaha Foundation.
Absolutely.
And basically what we're finding is that people not only just listening to music, but even what we call recreational music making. You don't have to be a professional performer. Recreational music making is actually in some ways, and we're finding scientific proof, it's rewriting our DNA.
Absolutely.
And it is helping people battle things like illness, battling depression, and many other stressful situations. In fact, HR directors are even using the Clavinova connection and things like this to help people deal with stress in the workplace.
Yeah, so George, if I can add on to that.
Yes, please.
Something that's really exciting for us. You talked about Dr. Bittman, Dr. Barry Bittman, and he's a neurologist who has done extensive research. He's one of the pioneers in music and wellness. He has taken this into, different various populations, and his last research study was done in 2013 at Walter Reed with cardiac patients.
Sure.
So today, I'm so excited to say that we have 3 researchers from UC that are conducting 3 different studies using health rhythms, using Clavinova connection. In fact, one of the studies is being done right here at Maple Knoll. She's an audiologist from UC who was looking at the hearing loss, cochlear implants, and how is it for folks who have the hearing impaired. So this is ongoing right now, and we'll have some early results from Dr. Zhang, who will be she'll be presenting. She's one of the coalition panels. We have another researcher she's from Children's and UC, talking about health rhythms and the impact of stress and well-being on African American women. So I'm really excited about this.
And health rhythms, in fact, I love it here because Reverend Steve Copeland is one of our people here. Also, Reverend Nancy. It's not uncommon to see them going up and down the hall with a bin full of drums, different drums and percussive instruments that they actually use. And what it does, and I've seen video of this when I've been at the music and medicine conferences, where you can see whether it's underprivileged kids or kids who have run afoul of the law or adults battling depression, seniors, people with special needs, they connect through making simple rhythm. Just playing the drums and interacting with each other.
George, I'll take it a step further. We have been engaging older refugees in health rhythms for the last 5 years. And what we have found, while we don't have the scientific evidence from our folks here, their physicians are saying, look, we are seeing there's an improvement in the cognitive function, the self-esteem, the reduction in depression. So that's another group that you're talking about. It's not just for people who are sick.
Right,
This is for This is for your well-being. This is for prevention. Fun.
Do you think there'll be some day when people won't say, wow, this is groundbreaking? This will be something that will be accepted as part of life,
Absolutely.
as quality of life.
That's what we're hoping for. That is the whole mission of Global Music and Wellness, that it is not saying, well, he was pioneering on this. Well, then we get past that and move on to this is an everyday thing.
And this goes beyond just you had a rough day and you're in your car and you hear your favorite song and it makes you feel good. That's the tip of the iceberg.
Yes.
Is it not? I mean, that's the thing that it proves to me. I mean, even if I were a doubter on this, and I've heard too many stories to doubt it, but if I doubted it, think of that time when you're having the roughest day and the music can make you forget your troubles, even if only for a while, and help you connect to something greater than how bad of a day it's been. And we're talking today with Arlene De Silva about the 6th Annual Music and Medicine Conference. It's happening October 13th right here in Cincinnati at the Mayerson Jewish Community Center. It's on Ridge And you can still get in. There is registration through October the 4th. We're going to give out some phone numbers and a website that you can check out as well. And you can see the full program. We'll talk about some of the speakers as well. But the power of this is tremendous. And if you've ever even had second thoughts about it, I urge you to go to one of these because it can be life-transforming in many ways. The phone number is 513-315-7393, or you can go to the website, musicandwellness.net, musicandwellness.net, and that's A-N-D. So you don't just music, A-N-D, wellness.net, and that will lead you to the information about this 6th Annual Music and Medicine Conference, as well as finding out all the people that are there, but also seeing a lot of the other programs that happen, whether it's Health Rhythms, whether it's the Clavinova Connection. There are tremendous different events throughout the year, but the big one, the one that is really there, whether you're you fall into any of those groups we mentioned before, we could finish out the show just naming, and I would even say even law enforcement officials.
Yes,
and
it's
that's
funny
one
you
that-
say
yeah.
that, George, because I just I was at a conference and I was speaking with someone. I believe he was from one of the townships, fire and EMS, and he was curious about what we were talking about, and he said, he took my card and he said, I'm gonna show this to my chief, and I think this is something we could use because we're so stressed.
Yes.
Even with the whole opioid crisis, he said it's like we've tried everything and they are just stressed out.
Yes.
The officers are stressed out. So law enforcement, EMS, fire.
I
it's a
also
great
think
place.
from the law enforcement, not just dealing with their own stress, but also seeing the transformative effect on some, especially young people, but not just young people, but various people who have had issues.
Yes.
And then you have people like Vi Higginson, who has taken aging and turned it into a joyful thing when most people are thinking about all the things they can't do anymore. Vi goes to Broadway and creates a musical
amazing.
about the joy of aging through music, and it's tremendous. And then you have the people who are giving us the hard facts now, Dr.
Right.
Barry Bittman. And you're also going to have at this conference on October the 13th, tell us about Dr. Margaret Martin.
Oh yes, Dr. Martin is as you said, Vi Higginson last year was we
Tremendous.
were able to get her because
tremendous.
thanks to Dr. Bittman and a amazing story. And Dr. Margaret Martin is from LA, and she has started. She's the founder of Harmony Project of America, and what they do is actually she herself is a wonderful, inspiring story who had been a young mother, a teenage pregnancy. She talks about all this, and then she was homeless. She went through domestic violence, and she's a Dr. PH. She's got her educational.
Right.
But the thing that I remember that I heard about her was she had taken her young son, 6-year-old son, and this is why she started Harmony Project. She had taken him. You know how you take the kids over there and they play the violin and somebody comes and puts a little bit of $1 here or whatever.
Oh, sure. You're busking.
She was
yes.
doing that.
Right. Okay.
And she found these gang members were listening. They stopped to listen. And they were taking out money and they were putting this.
Gang members. Okay.
And it
Wow.
just basically touched her about them. And she really believed that there was something we could do through music to change them, to give them a pathway. And that's how she started. She changed, she founded Harmony Project of America. She will be speaking about the transformation of youth in America. She has actually won an award from former President Obama. And then she also got another award from Michelle Obama. And I'm throwing out the awards, but I think the basic thing is what she has done and what she continues to do for the youth of America.
And it's so important. And once again, I remember when I first heard about the Clavinova Connection, it was largely affiliated, or it was largely used to help people cope with depression, generally from aging.
Yes.
We went out to different community centers.
Senior
I remember
centers.
seeing those in senior centers and watching people deal with this. And I know that you knew this in the back of your mind, that it went well beyond just aging issues.
Yes.
And that's why now it's being used by human resource departments in many organizations.
Veterans,
Veterans,
use it.
yes, very much so. And I can imagine dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder and things like that is just, anything that helps with the stress. And even to the point, and little things stick with me over these last 6 years that I've known Arlene De Silva with this project, where people would participate in things like the Clavinova Connection, and they would be there for an organized class, and they would do it, and everybody would be interacting with each other. But then the seed was planted, and people would come back on their own time and book out the Clavinova and create more of their own music just individually.
Yes.
Wow, what a story.
And I think, George, when Dr. Bittman innovated these programs, he's a believer in group-based.
Yes.
He's all about group-based. But I think he also, when he designed the program, designed it in such a way that you got your quiet time to just enjoy enjoy that music. So you get to come over and have, maybe it's with the speakers.
Right, with headphones on. Right, headphones.
And you get
and
lost
you can just do
in
it
it
yourself.
You get lost in it, absolutely. So the beauty is, yes, it's group-based, but you also have your own time to play your own favorite songs there. And I may add that you don't have to be a musician to be in these.
I've played in the Clavinova Connection, and while I do try to sing in a choir, not very well, I could not play an instrument if my life depended on it, and I was able to interact with another group of people and play basically the black keys on the keyboard. And the arrangement, the background rhythm is already there, and you can play on those black keys till the cows come home, and you're not going to hit a clinker note. Yes. It's beautiful, and you can have fun. You throw a solo to the next person, and suddenly you're all interacting, and you're getting the feeling that I can only imagine, because I've never been in a band, that union that happens psychologically when you're making music together.
And one of the things I learned early on working with Dr. Bittman was we are hardwired. He says we are hardwired for music. And for some people who first come into this, they're like, they'll even say, "Oh, honey, I'm not musical." And by the end of it all, they're like, "Wow, I was able to do this." So it's empowering. It builds that self-esteem for folks. So
I had trepidation the first time I walked in, and once I sat down, it all melts away. It's amazing. Now, there are even demonstrations, as I recall, at the Music and Medicine Conference, which is happening on October 13th in the lobby area. I know that we generally, WMKV is usually out there. We enjoy being out there talking about the power of music, because the generational aspect of the power of music, to me, it's confirmed to me every day on this radio station, and we hear stories of people who have connected with people that they're caring for who may have dementia, that whether it's a patient, whether it's a family member, they can connect through this music. And even though they may not be making music in that case, they're still connecting through it. So I know that there's this underlying thing there. And then I've seen the Clavinova Connection, which is amazing.
So, George, along with Clavinova Connection and people getting to know the instrument and getting to know the program. Yes, certainly at the conference we also have health rhythms.
Yes.
We'll have some interactive sessions, and sometimes we say if you are working with older adults, if you're working with developmentally disabled, veterans, refugees. So we kind of have 4 different rooms where you can go into, and it's sort of personalized, and you can engage. You can have fun.
And if you've ever played the drums on a table, you can do health rhythms too.
Right.
And it's wonderful. And again, it's about, in very many ways, community. And I do agree with what Dr. Bittman said, Dr. Barry Bittman, that we are hardwired for it. I mean, think of all the things that mean something to you that a piece of music will bring back a memory or a piece of music or making music when you're ham boning or playing along,
That's
with
right.
something that you're hearing. It's
Right.
just natural for people sometimes to do that or
Right.
to tap on a table or tap your toes. In a way, you're adding your own rhythm to that music.
Absolutely.
So I know I get on my soapbox about this.
Music is powerful, George. It is powerful.
So tell us a little bit more. You mentioned the University of Cincinnati connection will
Yes.
be at this Music and Medicine Conference on October 13th. Tell us about some more of the activities going on that day. It's a one-day event from 8 a.m. to about 4:45
Yes.
in the afternoon. It's at the Mayerson Jewish Community Center. Registration is still available at 513-315-7393 or at musicandwellness.net. What else can people expect that day?
So
There's so much to talk about.
And I'm very excited about the lineup this year. We have a therapist from the Linda Center of Hope.
Wonderful.
We have he's Michael O'Hearn, and he said to me, I have been playing drums since I was 3 or 4 years old. So he's a therapist, he's a counselor, and he's going to talk about therapeutic drumming. So along with health rhythms, we are showing that this is what they're using, and they're using it a lot for depression, for a lot of the same types of benefits that we're using. But we want to say it's not just us. There's others in here. From Colorado State University, we have Dr. Jenny Cross. She's Dr. PH. She has a program called B Sharp program. B Sharp.
Yes, B
I
sharp.
thought, how clever.
I'm usually flat, but anyway,
She'll
B
make
sharp.
you be sharp there. But the program is all about using music, and it's for older adults, actually for Alzheimer's and dementia, and it's benefiting caregivers. So my thing is for a lot of the organizations that are serving, whether it's retirement communities, whether it's home-based, home and community-based, if you are, as you said, George, if you're a nurse, if you're, it doesn't even have to be that you're a nurse or a physician, activity directors or caregivers.
Caregivers, exactly.
So it would be great to know what other programs are over there. We talked about the caregiver panel. In the panel, I mentioned the two from UC, the researchers. We also have our very own Roberta Schulz. Roberta has been with us from the beginning. She's wonderful. She's a musician. She's a singer. She takes Clavinova Connection and health rhythms to different populations. She right now does a lot with the veterans in terms of health rhythms. We have Tiffany Perrin. She is a therapist at Ridge Behavioral. So you spoke about the coalition. The coalition extends it. The name is Cincinnati Music and Coalition, but we are in cities in 7 states.
Yes.
And Switzerland, I must say.
Switzerland, yes.
Switzerland.
Very
We're
good.
working with Spain right now as well. But Tiffany uses, as a therapist, she's using this with multiple populations at the behavioral organization. She will have a lot to speak about from her own experiences with the populations. So there's a little of everything in there, from researchers, physicians, and we always get this about don't forget the musicians, and we do
Right,
have
sure,
the
sure.
musicians in there.
And that's the validating point to me, is the fact that the musicians, and you've had some wonderful musicians speak over the years at these conferences, the musicians are validating what the science is telling us and what the gut feeling is telling us. So
Yes. George, if I could add one
Yes,
thing that's
sure.
new this year, we have an art exhibition that's going to be in there. Actually, it's one of our physicians. He's a physician. He's a neurologist at UC, and Dr. Ahmed Obidat has been helping us out, and he believes in Barry's work. That's with Dr. Bittman's work. So he had invited me to a art show that his wife was doing. I went to this and I found out she's a genetic engineer and a biotechnologist who has now turned into art, and her work reminds me of the neurons and the brain. So we have her coming to exhibit some of her work, which goes along with music and medicine for us.
And I will tell you, because when you think about it, it's about creating. It's
That's
about creating, whether it's visual art, whether it's music.
Yes.
I think most of us are more hardwired to music than maybe to visual.
Right.
If you've ever seen me try to draw something, I can at least edit music. I can deal with music, and I can drum on the
You
table.
and me both, George. I'm
But
there
you're a
with you.
photographer,
I
though,
am,
too. So,
I am.
but this is going to be a wonderful day and a wonderful opportunity. Once again, registration is open only through October the 4th. So please, if you're interested in this, find out more about it. musicandwellness.net, musicandwellness.net, and you can even see the flyer basically at the website there, the Cincinnati Music and Wellness Coalition. There's also a phone number that you can call, and you can find out a lot more about these tremendous speakers that are going to be there that day and presenters. And for most people, and every year I go saying, okay, we're going to hear some of the same things, and you will hear some of the same messages because I've been there before. But every conference, there's something new. There's something fresh. And so if you've been before, you still want to come back. The number is 513-315-7393. Forgive me for all our listeners, for you listening out there right now, for me getting on my soapbox a little bit, but I have seen this and I believe in it, and I do think that this organization is making tremendous strides in helping people of all ages and all backgrounds really make a difference in their lives. And by making a difference in their own lives, they're making a difference in the lives of the other people that are important to them. So Arlene Da Silva, I hope we can have you back to talk more about this on future shows here as we approach October 13th.
George, it's wonderful, and I'm happy to come back. And I thank you, George. Your support has been wonderful all throughout this year, from the beginning.
Yeah, we've been there from one of the first demonstrations of the Clavinova Connection, and it is a tremendous organization and something you want to check out. It could be life transforming, as I said. It's again the phone number 513-315-7393. Even if you're just wondering what is all this about, they talk about it every year. It seems like. Well, you can find out a lot more at musicandwellness.net. And just some of the presentations, it will change your focus on music and especially recreational music making. It's amazing.
If there's just one thing I would like to add, that we do have CEUs, CMEs for physicians, nurses, social workers, music therapists, music educators, and so I just want to say that.
CEUs, definitely.
CEUs
and you can
are
find out
approved.
more at musicandwellness.net, correct?
Yes.
Musicandwellness.net. Arlene Da Silva, thank you so much.
Thank you, George.
Keep us singing, keep us humming, keep us making music.
Come along with us. Yes, thank you.
Very good. You've been listening to WMKV Cares. Again, the number 513-315-7393.